Hi, this is Eternally Erica. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I am going to be doing a general reading for today, but before I start, somebody on one of my other videos had commented that they had no idea what I was talking about with the Summerween stuff, and they wanted me to show examples of what I meant because it could have been a possible sign or synchronicity for someone. So I'm going to show you a couple of my decorations that I just recently got, so you know what I mean. So this is, like a pumpkin that looks like a jack-o'-lantern, and then I have this little pastel colored ghost candle. This is the new thing that's been going on, I guess, for anyone like me that wants an excuse to put out Halloween decorations multiple times a year. They're doing this thing now where they call it like Summerween decor, where it's, summer styled stuff that also coincides with Halloween styled stuff. So that is just an example. These items are from TJ Maxx if anybody is looking for these exact items. But so yeah, they're doing this stuff now where it's pastel colors and summery theme stuff. I'm seeing like a lot of like skeletons sitting on like flamingo floaties, like pool floats, like as decorations that you could put in your house. So if anyone likes that type of like whimsical stuff, that could have been a sign or a synchronicity for somebody else. I'm heavily into Halloween, so any excuse to put it out more than once, I will take. And also these colors remind me heavily of Edward Scissorhands, like the house colors and everything that was used in that movie. So maybe Edward Scissorhands is also a sign or a synchronicity for this reading for today. So let's get into today's reading. But yeah, that is just an example of what I meant. So when I mentioned these decorations the other day, now if there was any sort of confusion, you have an example of what I was talking about, because these things are heavily becoming very popular. So all right, I'm going to do a reading. Let's see what's in the cards for today. We have Temperance, so that is coming into balance. Okay, so you're gaining more balance on a situation. It could also be more balance and harmony within yourself. Maybe you are getting into yoga or spending more time in nature. Let's see what else is going on here. Queen of Pentacles. So you are gaining more financial stability. You're balancing your finances and your home life. Also, there's a rabbit in this picture, which is always like a sign of fertility or, spring. Pentacles are earth signs, so that could be a synchronicity for somebody. We have the Empress, which is also sign of fertility. So you may be getting into your divine feminine energy. We have Three of Pentacles. This is working together. Teamwork. So maybe there's some sort of group project you're going to be signing up for. So this is also, the Empress is card number 3, and Three of Pentacles came out right after it. So we have 3-3 right now. So maybe somebody's a life path 3. Maybe March is significant for someone. March 3rd specifically could be. 5 of Wands. So this is like a fighting or arguing type of battling energy. So maybe somebody's having some sort of disagreements at work or at home. 5 of Swords. So somebody is blaming themselves on a connection not working out. Page of Swords is a small, immature energy of like a message of truth. So maybe somebody was being very immature toward you. Eight of Pentacles, though, this is getting, you know, like honing a new craft, you're studying a new topic that is eventually going to be paying off for you in the future. And the Hierophant. So this is a traditional energy. It also could be a spiritual marriage. So maybe there's some sort of like spiritual partnership you're about to be stepping into. Five of Cups. So this is kind of like the energy of crying over spilled milk. Maybe there, you know, again, we have a lot of fives. We got 555 coming through. So this is new beginnings on the horizon. So putting the things that didn't work out behind you in the past and moving forward. And Strength. So this is Leo energy. You're standing in your power. If you had to walk away from a connection because it caused too much arguing around a connection, you are standing in your strength. Maybe you really did have to block this person or walk away. It does look like you've blamed yourself for a situation not working out, but you are standing in your power. Maybe this person also sees how strong you are because you did have the courage to walk away from them. Maybe there was a lot of toxicity in a connection. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of archetypes to see what comes out. Okay, we have, the Venom. So this is a lot of toxicity. You may have been dealing with a toxic partner that you had to walk away from. Maybe somebody creates a lot of drama when they get bored, and that's why they are blaming themselves for whatever arguments. Maybe somebody was trying to test you by purposely acting extra toxic as a way to see like how strong you were. And Nectar. So this is actually completely two contradictory energies. So this is very yin and yang energy, I guess, because Nectar is Nectar is the energy of being like you know, very fruitful. This is a very pure, positive energy. So maybe somebody thought you were very sweet in the beginning of a connection and then they saw how toxic you were, or vice versa. Maybe you thought somebody was like a nice guy or a nice, you know, girl, put that where that resonates. And then the more you got to know them, you saw how toxic they were. This is also a message of perhaps now would be a good time to, you know, cleanse your energy. Maybe do some sort of a you know, saging or something of that nature to cleanse your energy of any toxic people surrounding you. But this does seem like extremely contradictory energies here. Let's see what else comes out if we get one more thing to give us any more clarity here. All right, we have the Castle and we have the Threshold. So the Castle is, again, very dualistic. We have, you know, it's also linked with like fantasy and delusion, because like, you know, maybe somebody viewed you as somebody who's a little bit of a princess. Maybe you're living a little bit in a fantasy world. But also it's very, very dualistic with the, you know, castle has all sorts of magic and mystical energy, but also there's a lot of darkness that hides within the shadows of the castle. So this could be, again, you know, The nectar indicating kind of more of a magical, mystical, like positive energy. And then the venom is like the darkness. So I'm also heavily getting, maybe somebody is like bipolar. Maybe somebody has a lot of like mental health issues where they're very back and forth, hot and cold, because this is so opposite that that I am getting that type of energy. And then also the threshold. So this is like being on the brink of a new beginning, but it also could be you're standing at the edge, like before you jump into the hellfires. So, you know, it's like heavy toxicity energy in this reading. Heavy toxicity energy. I'm going to see what comes out in the What's the News oracles here. Oh, gosh. Yep, so we got frenemy. So this is a fake friend, two-faced friend. Two-faced, because like I just said, it's very hot and cold, back and forth, good versus evil energy coming out heavy in this reading. So maybe somebody was being severely fake, very two-faced, and they were showing you this facade of who they are, but really behind closed doors, they may have been very, very toxic. We have toxic masculine. So this is, you know, somebody that was very stuck in their ego. And then lipstick evidence with infidelity, caught cheating, and betrayal. So somebody may have heavily betrayed you. This feels like it actually would be the frenemy, though. Like, I feel like it's actually more of a betrayal. I mean, it could be obviously a cheating situation. Maybe somebody was keeping you as like a side piece in case something didn't work out in a relationship with them. But it does feel heavy, like somebody was keeping you in the background just to gain gossip on you or something of that nature, because this person was probably talking crap about you when you weren't around them. So take that if it resonates. I'm going to also pull some love and money cards to see what else comes out. Okay, we have exploitation. Others having power over you due to what they know. Suffering from exploitative labor practices. So this is like, maybe somebody was dealing with some sort of blackmail situation, because that's kind of coming out heavy with the lipstick evidence. Frenemy. Maybe somebody was just trying to get like a bunch of dirt on you. I see now how one of us held all the power, leaving the other feeling very small and voiceless. We need to reset this imbalance. This is number 18. Heavy on the imbalance. Because I'm getting heavy on mental imbalance, actually. And Temperance was the first card coming out in this reading today. So this may be more of a message of trying to gain mental balance. Maybe you are dealing with somebody who is very mentally imbalanced. So that could be the message of today. Ooh. Then we have honor. So the pursuit of honor has led to an inflated stories and distorted truths. I have a heavy feeling that the frenemy has been making up stories behind your back. So if you feel that somebody is being shady towards you, they probably are, because this energy has come out very heavy in this reading, that somebody is either trying to blackmail you or they are making up a ton of stories about you. Then we have escape. Doubts weigh heavy, and the leap forward seems too far. Crushed by burdens of reality, seeking solace in the thought of vanishing. This is number 9. Maybe somebody is using some sort of, like spending too much time in electronics or something to try to escape from reality. Again, though, I did mention that somebody could be in a bit of a fantasy world, so escaping reality mental imbalance. That is the energy of today. So I hope this helps.